Today we're gonna react to how rap changed in 2017. I miss 2017. I'm not gonna lie with you, bro. It was a great year, bro. Damn, bro. 2017, bro. 5-8, but yeah. We're gonna get the descriptions jumping in, bro. Hold on. Let's put the volume down.
You weren't into rap, you were just into sort of like screamo
that's
bands?
where
That's
the
Alright.
versatility comes. Yeah, that's where the versatility comes in, because I would go from listening to that to Lil Wayne to Tupac, from rock, like different Japanese songs. Like I was completely and utterly
You can hear the
mesmerized by music.
2017 was a lit year, bro. I'm not gonna lie. 2017. Yeah. Hey.
Overall, 2016 has become an iconic year in rap history, and for myself, a personal favorite. I wasn't lying when I said that 2016 was one of my favorite years of rap, but I may have slightly overlooked how great 2017 was. For those of you that didn't watch my video called How Rap Changed in 2016, I basically talked about how the artists coming out of that year's XXL freshman class brought a reimagined sound to hip-hop, popularized the term mumble rap, and carried the SoundCloud scene into the mainstream. With a more melodic, bubblegum trap sound rising to the top of the genre at this time, it really made for a great year filled with tons of great memories. But as people like Lil Uzi Vert and Lil Yachty were climbing the charts in 2016, there was a whole new wave of rappers patiently waiting in the shadows of SoundCloud, ready to take control of it.
How iconic, you know how legendary 2016 and 17? Bro, I'm telling you, bro, if we go back in time, that year, bro, I'm telling you, be like seeing underground rappers. And yeah, the SoundCloud era could come back, but won't be the same as before. I'm just saying. But yeah, you know.
Spotlight. These artists were already stars in the underground, but similar to the class of 2016, they were on the brink of breaking through into the industry and changing the game forever.
How Lil Pump took over the world in December.
Lil Pump is easily one of the most polarizing characters to ever blow up in the rap game, with not only his music leaving people intrigued and divided, but also his personality and life outside the studio. However, this description doesn't just apply to Lil Pump, as the majority of artists who would go on to dominate hip-hop in 2017 were similar in many ways. They would start their careers uploading music to SoundCloud that captured an ignorant, aggressive, grungy, and unorthodox style, which was something new for the time. Due to their social media antics,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I miss the old days, bro. Damn, bro. I never went to a rap concert before performing live. I never went. But I want to go to Rolling Loud one day. You know, if I have money, but you know, we have no money right now, so yeah, you know, jump on there, bro.
Legal troubles, and overall sound, they were also viewed at the mainstream. Yet, funny enough, those would be the same reasons why they would end up succeeding and getting signed just years later. See, what makes this 2017 wave even crazier and special is the fact that a lot of these artists came from the same state and had previous relationships before their careers even started. It may be obvious by now, but Florida would see people like XXXTentacion, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, Denzel Curry, and Ski Mask the Slump God emerge from the underground scene and work their way to the top. Although I just talked about these individuals sharing common characteristics, they all truly brought something unique to the rap game and had different levels of impact on the culture. And this South Florida movement wouldn't be the only groundbreaking change in 2017 either, as the world would see a new hybrid of emo rap push boundaries and shift the trajectory of hip-hop for years to come. So with all that being said, let's now rewind the clock and break down this extremely special and controversial era of rap.
Do you listen to a lot of local artists?
Shout out to all the local artists.
Who do you think
saw this video? But damn, this is 2016, bro.
Gonna make it big?
My whole crew. Besides that, let me shout out X, members only.
Damn, Smoke Perp really didn't know how to light that thing. but he was right on the money in terms of who he thought would make it big out of the Florida scene. See, heading into 2017, these artists had the underground on lock as SoundCloud rap was continuing to pick up.
I'm telling you, bro, you start grinding back then. I think back then when you want to get people to listen to music, you supposed like on Instagram. We didn't have TikTok, we had Vine. So there was Vine. Well, Vine got shut down in 2016. Yeah, damn. It is only Instagram. That's all I can remember. And then TikTok was released in 2016. What I'm saying, I don't know, bro.
Momentum and dominate the younger demographic of fans. Speaking from my own personal experience, the originality that artists like X and Ski Mask had instantly drew me into their music and had me hooked on their sound. The way they were blending genres and experimenting with such different styles
the grind back then, bro. I'm telling you.
Crucial in separating themselves from every other up-and-coming rapper. But what made the South Florida scene in particular break through and garner so much attention in 2017? Well, like I touched on earlier, the artists coming out of this area brought a certain level of ignorance and grunge to their music that had never really been seen before in modern hip-hop. Along with this style of delivery, their common choice of production would also play a huge role in dictating their sound, which I feel can best be described in 2 words. Distorted 808s.
808. Oh yeah, god damn, bro.
It may be common knowledge at this point, but for a lot of artists out there, production and beat selection is just as important as their vocals. Especially when your vocal range is limited and you have a relatively small vocabulary, like Lil Pump. So teaming up with the right producers can make all the difference in the world.
Make right beats. I don't even know Metro Boom was a beat. Was a producer? I thought it was a rapper. He's a producer. I didn't even know that. But yeah, back then, damn, bro, I feel like 2026, like 2016, but the older version. 2027 is 2017, which is not the same. 2025 is 2016, but it's 2015. My bad, bro. But yeah.
Ronnie, whatever, distortion, all that. When I first started making beats, I was just making them, you know, just like not even trying to overthink it, and it just came out like that, you know? Because like I never knew how to mix.
Yeah, I had no idea how to mix either when I was making beats back in the day, but unfortunately my production career didn't quite end up like Ronnie J. After producing iconic songs such as I'm Sippin' Tea in Your Hood, Take a Step Back, Ultimate, and Audi, it would be wrong to overlook the impact Ronnie J had on hip-hop in 2017. With his signature distortion and muddy mixes, it brought something fresh to the table and would end up complementing the Florida artist perfectly. Yet it's important to mention other key producers such as Stain, who worked heavily with X, Ski Mask Slump God, and the rest of the Members Only Collective in the past. As Ronnie J mentioned in his interview with Adam 22, he would initially link up with X and Ski Mask the Slump God through Denzel Curry before they even gained.
But yeah, 2016, but that was the year everybody was legit grinding. Even reactor channels too. You react to a song blowing up. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. But yeah.
Track style would evolve significantly over time and become its own unique thing, but it's important to give credit where credit is due. Alright, now that we got this brief history lesson out of the way, let's now shift our focus to the more specific artists and music that would go on to revolutionize rap in 2017.
It's just ignorant, bro. Like, I made ignorant that's catchy, bro. People.
Remember that interview of X talking about his versatility and musical influences that I showed at the beginning of this video? Yeah, Lil Pump couldn't be any more different. Yes, they both came onto the scene and changed the game with an ignorant, distorted sound, with X bringing more of a punk metal tone and Pump having a delivery.
Every time after stream, I'll just go to YouTube, listen to some music, probably listen to X. But I want to make beats. I just make beats and I just post them on my channel, you know, for fun, you know. But yeah, you ask with the metal, bro, like heavy guitar metal, bro. Oh yeah.
That is more comparable to someone like Chief Keef. But in terms of pure talent and cultural influence, they are on opposite ends of the spectrum. Within the South Florida SoundCloud movement, people like X, Ski Mask, Denzel, and Puya were more lyrical and would go on to evolve their sound as time went on. Yet when looking at guys like Lil Pump and Smoke Perp, they were very one-dimensional in comparison. It was fun listening to songs such as D-Rose and Flex Like Ooh at first, but when Lil Pump released his debut project in October of 2007...
Did I say Gucci Mane? Gucci Gang, what's wrong with me, bro?
With every song pretty much sounding the same, it got old fast. On the other hand, with X gaining traction in the underground scene with songs like Look At Me and Young Brats, then going on to release 17 as his debut project in August, it truly set him apart as a special talent and garnered respect from even the harshest critics.
He has separated himself from the new class. Put that album on in Turks and I looked up and my girl starts crying. Immediately. I heard melodies I didn't think I would get from him. I heard a singing voice that I didn't know was
very,
it was very clear. I'm putting him ahead of the pack. He will be here. That's what I mean.
This was a common reaction for many people after hearing 17 for the first time. If you were a day one supporter of X, you already knew he had this versatility, but for the casual fan, 17 was eye-opening. X had tapped into his emotional side throughout this project and, more importantly, delivered a body of work that connected with his listeners on a deeper level. However, speaking on this kind of introspective music, he wouldn't be the only artist expressing himself like this, as 2017 would also see a whole new wave of emotional rap surge in popularity, aka emo rap. Similar to the South Florida scene, this genre would be extremely popular amongst the underground crowd.
I'm telling you, bro, it went from metal to straight sad. Like, I don't know how. 2017, bro. Woo.
Wouldn't necessarily break into the mainstream until 2017.
Apparently I got a Wikipedia page. I was looking at my Wikipedia page. The genres was like alternative rock, like R&B, hip-hop, trap, emo, pop punk.
It really is hard to categorize people like Lil Peep because his music was so original and pulled elements from so many different genres. With his project Come Over When You're Sober Part 1 dropping in August of that year, it would really elevate his career to the next level. Songs such as Ben's Truck and Save That were absolute hits and racked up over hundreds of millions of plays across various streaming platforms like Spotify and YouTube, which at that point meant he was clearly crossing over into the mainstream audience. As a huge fan and friend of the legendary Suicide Boys duo and a member of the Goth Boy clique that featured frequent collaborators like Lil Tracy, Lil Peep was amongst a scene that had built a very strong cult-like following. It's crazy to see how popular emo rap became in 2017, and
that was so random back then. I remember X's song will play a lot. There'd be more songs. Crazy, man. 2017. I miss the old iPhones. Damn, bro.
Influence it would have for years to come. Whether you look at current artists like Ian Dior or even legends such as Juice WRLD, who would put his own spin on the genre in just the following year. Emo rap has become a staple sound in hip-hop and just added to the already groundbreaking era that was 2017.
Yup.
I would describe him as colorful.
R.I.P.
Like, he just, like you're a rainbow. Everybody loves rainbows. When you see it, it's like, look. You know what I mean? That's how I describe people.
He affected so many people's lives so easily. Like, it's so hard to do that. Like, to really, on a global scale, affect people's lives in a really good way.
It's still hard to believe that two of the most impactful artists coming out of 2017 have now passed. But what they did for the rap game and for everyone around them will live on forever. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of The Office, and there was one quote in particular from that show that kind of stood out to me when making this video as well, and kind of...
Damn, I can't believe... I really wish we can go back in time and relive 2017 again, bro. Or 16. But now that's life, bro. We just gotta move on. 2026 is gonna remind me of 2016. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying.
Summarizes how I feel about 2017. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. This applies for both 2016 and 2017, as I miss both these years so much. But you know what? After making this video, 2017 might just have been the better year.
Yup.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I hope you
Anyway, yo, that's it, bro. Anyway, I'm about to edit this. And yeah, peace.